so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave out through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Freedom Network. I'm Gary Rosenberg. Just finishing up getting ready for our program tonight. Yes, I mean, we've got hot off the press stuff for you. Welcome to the Freedom Network. I'm Gary Rosenberg. I'm your host. I'm so glad that you decided to join us, as you have been doing. Our customer base, our viewing audience has grown immensely, and we do this for the fun, not for the money. I was in a business meeting before we were talking about customer bases, so it confused me. Anyway, you found us, the Freedom Network. We're right here, NCTV 191. You can obviously maybe watching us online. Maybe you like that option better. Wherever you're watching from, welcome. And however you found out about us, welcome to the Freedom Network. We do have a Freedom Network group on Facebook. The Freedom Network page is also on Facebook. They're two different things, and we're going to blend them together. Some people like the group. I've heard from people that like the group. My friend Todd, I don't know if you're watching tonight, my friend, but I certainly hope that you are, and I know you like the group better than the page. A lot of people have weighed in on that, and it seems like it's probably a 60-40 split. So I don't know if we're going to bring the page into the group or the group into the page, but we'll do something to make it a little less complicated. In any event, reach out and get to us as you've been doing. The emails have just, they come in sporadically throughout the week. Obviously, we're on line, so we really never stop here at the Freedom Network. We answer every email that we get. You can be confidential or you can be right out there. You can also call the program. I know that we have some reluctancy, especially locally, to call because I don't know why you'd rather email, but I know in the anonymous ones you'd rather, and that's fine. It's the technology age. I mean, that's what it is. From when I first ever did a talk show until now, let me tell you, it's changed. That's for sure, right? That's for sure. We'll go over some emails because, of course, we got a lot of emails. Ken says, Gary, give the town hell. I hear you on balanced change. Yes, Ken, that's all. That's what we're looking for here. We're looking for give and take, not just take. That's all. I don't think that's unreasonable. Susan says, can we talk national politics at any time? Yes, you can talk national politics anytime you want. Email it, call it in, whatever topic you want. We're right here to discuss it. One thing that we like to have is an open line type of a forum, and we like to do that because we have people that like to talk about all different things. So from time to time, we'll have a guest and stuff like that. We will talk more about cable. Actually, I'm going to talk about cable a little bit, but I got a few things to get to before I do that. A little news on that front. And yeah, and I definitely want him to come back in and sit and talk with us. I think that would be good. So maybe Maybe if Harry comes in early, we can steal him at the very end of the program. I mean, they'll be throwing us off the air in under an hour, so we don't have much time. But if he's here, maybe we'll get him to slide in and give us a little update if he has one. I do have a little updating myself and some information that I was able to find, and if I can find it and if I can get it, I will air it to the Freedom Network. Don't you worry about it. So yes, Susan, go for it. Whatever you want to talk about, and I have some national stuff to talk about if I have time. I am going to get to that State of the Union. I promised you so many times that we'd look at it, dissect it a little bit, look at some facts, some fiction, because there was a little bit of both in there, and we'll go through it. I'll get to it. Joe says, go kid, give him hell. Well, thanks, Joe. I'll try. Let's see. Oh, and our group of liberal left-wingers, as they're now LLW. They must want an acronym themselves, so you can have one. But the liberal group that likes to watch the show locally here from where we broadcast is watching, and they have their pool going again tonight as to how long it will take me before I bash Obama. So I think that's great that you folks keep communicating. It's okay if you'd rather go on the email route. And to be honest with you, we've had some great debates back and forth about some issues, and you guys, you do all right. You bring up some good points. You could come on. No one's going to beat you up if you want to, but if you want to stick with the email, that's fine. But get the clock ticking, because we will be talking about Obama. And me saying there was some facts and some fictions, that doesn't count. Not yet. You can't do that. Ralph, I want to yell your name when I see your name, Ralph. Gary, you want to raise taxes? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I never thought you would. But if you can keep the taxes the lowest in the valley, and change some funding practices from the town, and maybe ensure that they don't screw us, maybe I will follow you. Well, Ralph, that's all we're asking, is for an open mind. I think in this issue, when it comes to taxes, we want them low and we want to keep them low. Freedom Network's not about raising taxes. But there are times when you do need to infuse money into a town. There are times. It does happen. It does happen. Especially when you look at what you want for services. So that's a very, very big discussion that's happening in town right now, and I have some information for you on that in just a minute. So let me get through the rest of these. But Ralph, I appreciate your faith, and I will tell you, if I smell a rat, I'll call it out. That's what we do on the Freedom Network. We've not shied away from that in the past. We're not going to do it today or in the future. But I am trying to get something, some kind of consistency into what we're doing in the town. And if that means we got to give a little, folks, you're going to have to give a little. But it doesn't mean you have to give everything. It doesn't mean you have to have your money wasted. It doesn't mean that there had to be no oversight. It doesn't mean that we can't get the town to make concessions. And just even saying that, even I fall into the trap. We are the town. You are the town. The town government works for you. The school committee works for you and for me. That's the fact. That's what it is. As my grandfather used to say, it is what it is. Well, that's what it is, folks. They work for us. So, banding together, being proactive, being able to reach across the aisle is something we hear a lot about in politics today. And it never seems to happen. Or when it does happen, bipartisanship generally means Republicans caving in to Democrats. That's being bipartisan. But when Democrats don't cave in to Republicans, that's them being steadfast. That's them sticking to their guns. So there's a huge double standard there, I know. But I don't like to get into standards. I like to look at the issue, see what it is. Let's see if there's any merit there. Let's see if there's any way that we can control this beast we call government, because that's what it is. I mean, governments grow. That's what they do. I don't care if they're on a town level or a county level or a state, federal level, and anywhere in the world. They don't retract, they grow. So as they grow, we need to put in some measures, to make sure we're getting what we want. Sometimes we got to help them along a little bit. I know Paul was very upset with me last week, and I don't have a whole lot of time to hang around after the show today, Paul. So if you want to yell at me or anything, call me, and we can discuss it. But remember, with that override has to come some changes. There's got to be some changes made. I'm going to get into it in a minute. Let me go on through the emails and then we'll talk to it. Jamie says, yeah, Gary, Obama is ruining America. Can you talk about his State of the Union? Well, yes, of course. I selected your email, Jamie, because I have information on the State of the Union right here. And I will get to that. I will definitely get to that. Let me see here. Interesting. And emails come in, and as they are airable, we air them, and when people don't want them aired, we don't want them aired. So just remember, if you want it aired, just tell me you want it aired. If you don't want your name used, just tell me you don't want. Do it all up front so I don't start reading something that I shouldn't read on the air. I know we're very sensitive to our identities. I get it. I'll be the guy out here taking all the hits for everybody. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Jamie, we'll get to you, I promise. Oswald, Gary, push for change. I will look at taxes if the town tightens its belt also. Good point, Oswald. That's what we're saying. We're not looking for monumental, monumental things from them. But if they want a little something from us, then we can get a little something from them. I think that's just the way it should go. Frank, oh my God, you want to raise taxes? Well, with you involved, maybe, but I have a lot of questions, Gary. I hope you answer them. I do not want high taxes. Fair enough, Frank, fair enough. It's amazing when you start talking to people. I remember, never say never. Don't ever say you can't get votes from this one, you can't get votes from... You can get votes from a lot of people. What you got to do is you got to explain yourself. You got to be open and honest with people. You got to let people know what's going on. Let them know what is happening. Give them the facts. Let people make decisions. Who wants taxes to go up? Certainly not me. We're the lowest tax in the Blackstone Valley. I think we can remain that and get some help to the schools. I think everybody's got to just take a breath and give a little bit, and that includes the town government. All right, Frank. What do you want me to tell you, Frank? I mean, yeah, I appreciate your faith. Several of you, and I've gotten a lot of emails like that, and it's very humbling when you say, Gary, with you involved, and that kind of stuff. And I'm going to tell you that's why I'm being very careful as to what I'm doing and how I'm going about doing it and who I am involving myself with and what that level of involvement is, to be quite honest with you, because the integrity of the program is very important to me. And as I wade into these waters that I have never swam in before, I don't want to drown. So I am going to be very careful with this issue. But I am going to try to see this through. I'm going to see this through. And I'm going to, as I pledged to last year, help to change this town. I'm willing to give. If no one else is willing to give, things just simply won't change. And that's the reality of life, I guess. So if you're all for one thing, just look at it. And if you're all the other way, again, look at it. Don't just blindly go vote yes and keep raising taxes through the roof. That's not what I'm advocating whatsoever. But there is a time and a place that you do have to look at that. And again, I do feel we can stay the lowest, but I think we can get some help over to the schools. Emails come in. Gary, I love you, but I won't be with you. But maybe I would be with you. I don't know. I just don't know. That's all I'm asking you to do, man. Don't use my name. Don't worry, I won't use your name, but please don't use my name in the beginning. Put it right in the beginning, so I read that first, okay? But yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Just think about it. Look at it. Look at some facts. See what it looks like. As if it was your business. Do you need to infuse money into it? Yeah, we do. I mean, we do. It's what it is. Just like I'll quote my grandfather for the rest of my life. All right, what's your favorite? Excuse me. What's your favorite Northbridge business? What's your favorite Northbridge business? And for those of you that aren't in Northbridge, don't worry about it. I want to know if you're outside of Northbridge, what's your favorite chain? Because we won't know here in the little old Northbridge town what you're talking about if you say John's, joke shop in Schenectady. I'm not going to ever get there, but if you let me know about a chain that you like, I'll keep some tallies going on. I'll get a blank piece of paper here somewhere, and we'll run it a little bit. I want to know, what's your favorite Northbridge business? What business are you just the happiest after you leave. You just feel that you did the right thing by walking in the door, and you do it all the time. This could be a restaurant. It could be a new shop in town. It can be whatever you want. I was talking about this on Facebook. I told people to call it in to the program, so you can call in and give your place a plug, and let us know why it's so great. And don't just be the people that own the businesses, although you're welcome to. Don't you worry about it. But I want to hear from people. Where do you like to eat? We did that, but I'll still take restaurants. Where do you like to eat? Where do you like to go? Where do you do? Where do you spend your money? When you spend, if you've got $300 a week of mad money, where do you spend it in town or outside of town? Where do you spend it on a chain level? Where do you go? That's all. These are my questions for you today. You can email them in all week long. We'll get results, and if we get enough of them, we can get some out today, but we'll certainly try to get some out through the week, and we can also post our results out on our Facebook group. So what's your favorite Northbridge business? And if you're not in the area, what's your favorite national chain? I don't care what it is. Doesn't matter. All right. So we were talking about the town. Let me just wrap that up. Town meeting with the town manager has been postponed due to the snow. What hasn't been postponed and canceled due to the snow? But in any event, it's been rescheduled. It's February 23rd at 5 p.m. If I have that date or the time wrong, I know my friend Elizabeth will let me know, but I'm pretty sure I got that right. Meeting is open to the public, but if you can't attend, that's okay. That's okay. People are busy, and I get that. I don't hold that against me. I'm not one of these guys who says, whoa, show up for the town meeting or show up for this. People do things. If they got to go to work, they got to go to work. They're not coming to the town meeting. That's just the reality of life. So here's a unique opportunity. We have collected tons of questions. Your emails have been fantastic. Yes, there's many I can't take. And, I can't go ask the town manager some of the stuff you want me to ask. You know why? Because I'm a respectful person, and I'm not going to swear at him or any of that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, he doesn't deserve that. From what I understand, I don't know him, but from what I understand, he's a nice guy, he's a good guy, and he wants to do the right thing. So let's talk to him and see if we can get the right thing done. It'll be interesting to see, but it's open to the public. If you can't attend, submit some questions. timorgary@gmail.com. You've done it so many times with these questions. I can't thank you enough because you've made this meeting actually mean something more than just, somebody sitting there asking a bunch of questions of their own. We want to hear from you. What is it that makes you question wanting to increase funding to the town? Why don't you want to do it? I mean, everybody's not, like Paul, that just doesn't want to do it. He doesn't probably have a specific reason. A lot of the reasons that people have, like Paul, are, contracts, union negotiations, stuff like that. But that's not stuff that's going to change tomorrow. So what do we do today to make some changes? That's what I want to know from you. What avenues? And we've had emails about everything from insurance to, oh my good, there's so many of them, and they're good, solid questions. So keep them coming on in. Here come a couple right now. I'm not going to give them out on the air, though. I'm not going to give them out on the air, folks, because I want to have them for that town manager, and I want the town manager to be able to answer what he can, and then I want him to be able to take what he has to back with him and find out. Because he's not going to be able to answer every question right there on the spot and pepper him like that. And I don't know that we'll have the time with all the questions that we have, to be honest with you. But they're good, solid, realistic questions from citizens that A, vote, and B, give a darn about this town. So I think it's fantastic that the town manager has decided to sit and to meet with concerned citizens. It's a huge feather in his cap, in my opinion, because that's what government's all about. Again, I said it before, I've said it 1,000 times. They work for us. For us. For you. That's who the town manager works for, every selectman. They work for you. The school committee works for you. They're there on your behalf. I don't give a darn who the piece of paper says that they runs this and that one runs that department and this one answers to that. You know where the buck stops? With you. That's where the buck stops. So I want your opinions. And I've got 7 new questions already flying in here. So I'm really excited about that, and I'll have those for you soon, ma'am. All right, so let's get all the questions we can in, tim@gary@gmail.com. As far as groups go, myself, I have a group, someone I'm working with, Elizabeth has a group, everybody's, we all have good intentions. So what we're going to do is we are going to, and a lot of my viewers do belong to one of or the other of these two groups. Help Northbridge Public Schools is one, and NNC, Northbridge Needs Change, which is something that I had started, that I am actually now partnered up with, and I am no longer the only admin on that site. So you will see varied posts, I am sure. But we're going to blend them together. And what we're going to do is we're going to blend into Northbridge Needs Change. That's what we decided to do, and we decided to do it because it makes more sense. The schools are a symptom, we feel, of a town problem with funding. And part of that absolutely is revenue, and part of that may be spending, and there's all kinds of stuff, and that's what the questions are for. But what can we do to fix? I don't want to just keep fixing symptoms. I want to fix the root causes, and the root causes aren't let's raise taxes 10 points. That's the easy way out, and that doesn't take into consideration anything that the people in the town have to say. So your questions are going to get to the people that matter, and you don't have to do anything but send an email. You don't even have to show up. 10 questions have come in. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that, folks. So if you're a member of Help Northbridge Public Schools, go there and find a link to NNC, link over to it, post your information there, have your discussions there. It should be easy access. I think there's a link set up if I'm not mistaken. If there's not, there'll be one at any moment, I'm sure. And give us an ask to join, and we will approve you, and we will approve everybody, and we will let all opinions be welcome. There are no opinions stifled. I mean, we're not going to take you got to be respectful of other human beings. And I guess until they're not respectful of you, no problem defending yourself if that happens. But I'm not looking for people being banned, blocked. I'm not looking at editing of people's posts, at deleting people's posts, or any of that stuff that drives me so crazy. That ain't going to happen. Okay? We're going to have an open, honest discussion in this town if it kills me. All right? So, anyway, NNC, I want you to know, is a movement. It's about more than an override. This isn't about raising taxes. Like I keep saying, where I say it may be a component of it, well, we have to look at the valuation. There's a lot of things that go into this. And there's a lot of things, that's one little piece of what may be a problem in our town. So we'll fix that. I believe we can gather the people together to fix that. But I think the people want some input. I think the people need to have a citizen activist group in this town, because just from the fact that 9 out of 10 emails say don't use my name, people are a little afraid. And that's very telling to me, and I don't like that. I'm not afraid. I will ask the questions. Elizabeth will ask the questions, and we'll get answers. Whether we'll like them or not, I don't know. But we will ask the questions. If you're looking for something to stand behind, Northbridge Needs Change is going to be that thing. It's not about just an override. It's about the town's health. It's about what we're doing. Do we need an override? Okay. But we need changes. We need some accountability. And we may already have that, and we don't even know it. And that's why it's so important that we're able to meet with the town manager. We want change. Realistic change. Of course, realistic change. Why would we want unrealistic change? Anyway, we don't go away after the override vote. Whether it wins, loses, or draws. Okay. Not going anywhere. Northbridge Needs Change is not going to pack its bags and fold until the next time it's ready to fight to raise taxes. We ain't doing that. We're going to stay here. Just like I told you the show is going to stay here, it's here. Just like I told you that we're going to get people together, we will find each other that have common ground, that may not have all the common ground in the world, because we don't, and that's okay. That's okay. I have to agree with everybody all the time 100%. You find what's common, you do the best you can to move the town forward. That's the point. You're going to have NNC here all the time. And when we're talking about waste treatment plants, whether we're talking, which it's interesting. Waste treatment plants, I'm wrong. It's a recycling plant, if I'm not mistaken. One of you guys give me an email. There's somebody from Facebook was talking about this. It was kind of an interesting conversation. But some kind of a compost is what I understand wants to come into Northbridge, a green type of a situation. And of course, nobody wants it near them. Everybody wants green energy, but nobody wants to do anything. Everybody wants green, but not near me. They want windmills, but not off the Cape where the $1 million homes are. They can't see them, but we could put them probably very easily in an area that wasn't quite so affluent, couldn't we? So that stuff goes that stuff just gets me like you don't even want to know. But I do think that it's interesting to have a compost site here. I think it's good. It's a new business. It employs people, and it's good for the environment. So what is wrong with it? What is the problem? It's the location. It's got to be moved over here, or maybe it should be over there. No matter where you put it, someone's going to not want it there. So maybe we just say no. Maybe we don't want the business in the town. Is that really logical for a town that's broke? You're going to turn business away? You've got businesses leaving town. You're going to turn businesses away. Doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, NNC is going to be the movement. Northbridge needs change. We're going to set up a website, which will help you. We're on Facebook now as we speak, and we're not going anywhere. Not going to do it. As George Bush said, wouldn't be prudent. Just wouldn't be. So, that's a lot of information out there. If you want to come in and a couple of popping in now, you can call. I know it's a touchy subject and people don't want to call on it. Call on something else if you want. That's fine. But the emails coming in are very interesting. Very interesting. Some I'm not going to read to you. Not going to do it. But I do enjoy reading them, so that's fine. It's my guilty pleasure. I read your crazy emails that you send me, and you know who you are. But yes, at the end of the day, to answer the question, here's someone. You can use my name, Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you for doing that up front. Jonathan says that, it makes sense, Gary. I'm not a yes voter or a no voter. Actually, I was so confused last time. I didn't vote at all because I just had this gut feeling that no one was looking out for me. Okay, man, I'm looking out for you now. Okay, let's get this done. All right, I'm looking out for you now. So, you want to talk about Charter Communications? Is that what you want to do? Because that's a national hot story going on. You may not think it is, but it hits right here close to Northbridge. The print on this is so small that I don't know if I'm going to be able to read this entire letter to you, but I have been provided with a response about a complaint, which was filed by this is a Better Business Bureau case, filed by Bill, the big man here. Bill's everybody's boss. Let's see here. Complaint filed against Charter. Interesting. Well, let's see. February 6, 2015, business provided the following information. Dear dispute resolution. All right, here we go. This is their response, I guess, to what he had said. This letter is in response to your correspondence regarding the complaint submitted by Bill involving a service concern. He stated that Charter moved local access channels without authorizing anybody and breached the cable license with the local franchise township of Northbridge by doing so. He requested that Charter return community channels back to 11, 12, and 13 in their local channel lineup. Now, I'm interested to know something right off the bat. Have you folks out there, if you're not in Northbridge, have you had your local access channels changed? And if you have, do you care? Do you care? Is it important to you? Now, it's very important to a station that's got logos and websites and links out there and all that stuff that don't make any sense. It does matter to them, I can tell you that. Upon the receipt of the inquiry, Charter diligently researched the concerns. Oh, I'm sure that you diligently researched it. Was that Mr. Cohan that was diligently doing all that research? Further reviews indicate that Charter does not have a contractual relationship with the NCTV, as referenced. Charter provided the required notice of all digital upgrade, highlighting the new locations of the PEG channels to the franchise authority, the town of Northbridge, 30 days in advance, as required by Charter's licensing with Northbridge. The channel lineup changes were part of an all-digital upgrade that allowed Charter to make more efficient use of its existing bandwidth and add more than 80 new HD channels, along with doubling the standard internet speed to 60. So you want me to... I gotta just ask a question. This is where I get crazy with things. When people want me to believe things that are clearly just... it can't be true. I mean, are you telling me that by taking channels 11, 12, and 13... and turning them into 191, 2, and 4, whatever they even are now. We don't know. But that made room for 80 stations? 80 stations? And you know what's interesting is the 11, 12, and 13 aren't... they're part of your 80 stations. So what is one? You guys got to help me out here. But isn't one a foreign language station? And is the other one... like an NFL advertisement station or something? And what's the one I'm missing then? What is 11 now? Oh, it's QVC or something, isn't it? Yes, very important stuff. I mean, that's public service to get those 3 channels out there. So you move 3 channels, you get 80 new ones. What 80 new channels do I have? What 80 new channels? Do I have 80 new channels at home? Maybe I do. I can't find anything to watch. I don't care how many channels you put on there, guys. There's nothing ever on TV. Charter did move the PEG access channels and Charter's own local channel to the channel locations in tandem with many other channel relocations. These channels, and they did, man. I can't find anything on TV. I'm still not used to it. I don't know where to go. And what's funny is I've had people ask me, and I don't know where to go either. I don't know what to tell you. And that's why I would need Harry to answer those questions for me. Let's see. These changes... No, so let me ask you this question. And I'm going to just say this out here publicly because, you know what? I'm going to just ask the question and then the station can answer it or they don't have to answer it. That's fine. But they say that they provided 30 days notice to the town of Northbridge, which is who they're supposed to provide that information to. Did the town of Northbridge tell the station? That's the question, I guess. Anyway, let's see. Additionally, Charter has not received any customer complaints regarding the relocation of the channels in Northbridge. Charter has been negotiating with Northbridge and its cable committee to find a mutually agreeable solution to this dispute. To that end, Charter has sent every customer in Northbridge a letter notifying customers 30 days in advance of the upgrade, provided each with a new channel lineup and a link to online channels. Despite the opposition by Bill, Charter has, one, taken steps to include notice of the new channels. So it looks like they're mailing some stuff. Cablecast on the popular programming services line up with 30-second PSAs informing customers of the new locations of the PEG channels. And let's see here. What else is in here? I mean, I'm going to bring this home, Maureen. If you're watching, you're going to be impressed that I was able to read this. Let me tell you. This is small. Lastly, it was in fact the cable committee who requested that Charter pay them $50,000 in cash to help promote the PEG access channels. Charter remains adamant in its thinking that this is an extremely unreasonable figure, but to accommodate this request, Charter made a counteroffer that would have less impact on our customer bills and still give the Access Corporation significant additional funding. What is it got to do with my bill, Charter? What does it got to do? I mean, if the fact that you're willing to do anything at all without just saying to you know where with you means to me very... They don't like you, Charter. I'm going to tell you, right? I'm going to leave it there. There's things I can't say. But people don't love you. So I don't know what to tell you. But they don't love you. And you're making offers and counter offers, which means you did something wrong. So if you did something wrong, why would you pay if you didn't do anything wrong? Why would you pay even $1? And furthermore, I don't care what you pay. If you think that you're going to get the money from me without a huge stink, I don't care if it's 1 penny on my bill every month. I don't care what it is. You obviously messed up somehow, Charter, or you wouldn't have an offer or a counter offer. Or are you just that nice? Are you that nice, Charter? Are you the one cable company that just wants to do what's right? Is that who you guys are? I doubt it. I doubt it. Let's see. In closing, funding which they could use to promote their channels and so that they are less likely to be reliant on viewers, quote, stumbling on their programming. In closing, it should be noted that virtually the entire budget that supports Northbridge comes from fees paid by Charter TV customers. We know that. That's why we know this is our station, because we pay for it. Charter considers this matter as resolved and respectfully requests that this matter be closed. Charter's direct contact details were provided for future reference. Well, I don't know if it's closed or if it's not closed. Someone can tell me, but I don't know. But anyway, sorry to throw that out there like that at you. But I would like to know, my big question out of this is, did the town notify the station that their channels were moving? Because again, if they did, I would think that would have eased the blow. From what I understand, it might not have been done. All right, I know, 36 minutes past. I might have to blow off my break. Did you have something phenomenal? You're okay? All right, he was going to rerun something. I'm just going to try to run with this for a minute. Because I really want to get to the State of the Union for my emailer. I really do, and I may only have a minute or two to do it, but I'm going to get in there and I'm going to do it. But we got time. We do have time. We do have time. Gary, please bash Obama. Those things, it just cracks me up. It cracks me up. All right, we'll get there soon. NBC, Brian Williams, what do you think? He lied. He got suspended. No pay. NBC's just a propaganda machine. If you don't know that by now, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, all news is a propaganda machine, but they are like the propaganda machine of propaganda machines. Unbelievable how consistently they are on the un-American side of every single issue, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. I've been reading the comments on Facebook on their page, and they are growing increasingly nasty toward NBC. I was banned from NBC, for a while, and I seem to be back up there, but I'm sure I'll be banned again. Now, another NBC employee I hear is under fire, but I don't have much info on it, but I think people are starting to wake up to this fact that it's a little bit crazy with NBC already. It's a little crazy. All right, snow. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. I don't even know what more to say than wow. I mean, how is your road? What does that look like, huh? How's your road? Have you been plowed out? Most people are still snowblowing. I'm driving around town, I see people snowblowing. It hasn't snowed for a few days. Still digging out. We're buried here. We're just buried. Records have been broken all over the place. What can I tell you? Do you want more snow? Are there people out there that really want more snow? Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. We can't not talk about ISIS. We got to talk about ISIS. These scumbags need to be eliminated. I mean, what are you going to do? You got to stand up already. You can't keep saying, let someone else deal with it. Because, when you let someone else deal with it, things grow a little bit out of control. And I think that it's got to be dealt with. We'll see what Jordan does. Obama's asking for the okay to go to war, to use military force. It's amazing. He's going to ask now. He wants to ask. Now he gives a crap what Congress thinks. He just wants people on record with a vote. If you think that he is that humble a man, that he's going to go to Congress and ask them for something, when he had majorities, he didn't ask for anything. Now he's going to go ask for something? This is crazy. This is just crazy talk. Absolute crazy talk. Gary, let it snow. Snow. You're crazy. You're crazy. Paul, yeah, I can use your name, Paul. Paul, I'm going to tell you right now that you're crazy. I'm sure you're a good man, but you're a crazy good man. I don't want any more snow. I think I'm done. Anyway, maybe if Obama didn't pull out of the war, then Al Qaeda in Iraq wouldn't have morphed into ISIS, because a lot of those people, that's right where they are. Do we want to win, or do we want to feed a military machine? Because that's all we're doing right now. We're not fighting this war to win this war. We're feeding a military machine. That's all we're doing. And we have the best, bravest, brightest, most kick butt, awesome military, full of the just amazing people that have the ability to rid the earth of this scum with very little problems on our side. We have the ability. World War II could not have been won this way. No way in hell would World War II been won if we were really worried about every little thing the way we are now. This makes no sense to me. And I say the same thing about Bush as I say about Obama. You don't want to fight a war. It's obvious you don't want to fight a war. You want to fight a symbolic battle where you put our kids in harm's way, knowing full well that what you're doing is never going to eradicate the problem. So would I say then don't do anything? If I had a choice between what we're doing yesterday and nothing, I'd probably pick nothing. But I still think nothing is the wrong idea. The current way of fighting just won't work. The proof's in the pudding. It doesn't work. It hasn't been working. Has it been working? Do you think anything is better in the Middle East since we got in there? What's really better? I mean, what is it that our government has asked these brave souls to do that has made things way better for America? That's why we should be fighting wars. We should fight people when things would be better in America if we fought them. He's too busy. He's fighting with Israel. He's fighting with Putin. Now he's going to go to Congress. I don't know. Very interesting. Yes. Yeah, you can talk about the schools all you want to talk about the schools. You can talk about the town all you want to talk about the town. So, here we go. Do not use my name. No problem. I will just call you do not use my name. In any event, this emailer is pretty upset. I don't think that I would vote for an override, and I will tell you why. Okay, that's fair enough. Why wouldn't you vote for an override? I wouldn't vote for an override because in the end of the day, sometimes there's typos in there, folks. You got to give me a second. It's not like a phone conversation. At the end of the day, this town doesn't know how to manage money. Why would I want to give them more? But then again, maybe the citizens of this town can teach the town how to manage money. I mean, don't we have some accountants and some people with some knowledge? Yeah, we do. We do. And I don't know that they don't know how to handle money, or if they don't know how to properly disperse money, or better yet, if they know what you want them to do with your money. It's your money. The town has, first of all, no money. Nothing. I don't care what's in any account. I don't care what. They have no money. They only have other people's money. They have your money. Just because it goes to them doesn't make it their money. I know possession's 9/10 of the law. But it doesn't make it their money. It's your money. And if you want it spent a certain way, send me a question. Something a little deeper than that, okay? Do not use my name. A little better. What is it that would make you trust them? What do you need to trust them? Again, I'm not going to advocate, support, or have any desire to raise taxes any higher than we absolutely positively have to make sure that we've got some kind of level playing field here. I want Northbridge to be the lowest taxed town in the valley. I do. And I want it to maintain it. And I think that we will never get everything we want by doing that. But I don't even know if we really want it. I don't know if we really want everything. I mean, you want to spend $10 million on a town hall? Let's see. This topic just gets you guys involved. Do not use my name. Okay, he's a very popular emailer today. Let's sell the town hall and move the offices into a different building, smaller. Do we really need all that elaborate space? We are just Northbridge after all. Humble. Good question. Good question. I don't know. Kanye West is a moron. What do you want me to tell you? Did you watch that idiot on television? What a loser. Beyonce lost. Just get over it, man. Get over it. What's the big deal? She lost. What is that? That's it? You're going to tell people that they're not artists? Here's an interesting factoid. I hear about close to three. Here he is. Blah, blah, blah. I hear close to 300 people work on Beyonce's album. 300 people. I think there were under 12 that worked on the winner's album. Who really is the better artist? Come on. All right, State of the Union. Obama stinks. 4604. I wasn't really bashing Obama before. Maybe I was. I don't know. But now you can definitely say at 46 minutes after the hour, here in Northbridge, Mass, your pool, my friend, has ended. Okay? And eventually I need to get in on this pool. I know it would be very interesting because I would know when I was going to do it, but I feel that if I'm the one that's if you guys are gambling, man, I want in. All right, State of the Union. I ain't got much time. I'll go with it just a little bit. Let's see. The Associated Press. The U.S. may not have risen from recession quite as rousingly as President Obama suggested in his State of the Union. 7 years after the severe downturn began, household income hasn't recovered, and healthy job growth is complicated by the poor quality pay of many jobs that are out there. It's a tough thing to measure. I mean, let's just face it. It's very difficult. It's kind of like finding out what we actually take in revenue in our town. Does anybody know that number? What do we actually take in? I want that number. So let's see. Let's look at it. Obama. Quote, at this moment, with the growing economy, shrinking deficits, bustling industry, and booming energy production, we have risen from recession, freer to write. This is something that's great. When he says booming energy production, that means oil. That means fracking. Because that's how we're getting a lot of oil. Something he's against, isn't he? Or is he for it this week? I don't remember. But he's going to take credit for that. He fights it. He's fighting, Keystone. He's fighting extra drilling. He's taking land off the table in Alaska. But he's going to say that energy production is booming and take credit for that. It's in spite of you. We've risen from recession, freer to write our own future than any other nation on earth. The facts. The economy is still recovering. Job growth has been healthy, but fueled in part by lower-paying jobs in areas such as retail and restaurants, which have replaced many high-paying jobs in manufacturing and construction. Part-time jobs do remain elevated, but there are still 1.7 million fewer workers with full-time jobs than when the recession began in 2007. No, wages are not getting pushed up month. Let's see. They're barely ahead of the inflation and below the annual pace of 3.5% to 4% that's typical in a fully healthy economy. Obama, I'm sending this Congress a bold new plan to lower the cost of community college to zero. Is this guy insane? Is he insane? Is there nothing that he doesn't want you to pay for? Fact, zero for qualifying students. An estimated $60 billion over 10 years to the Treasury. I can't. I don't want to go home mad. I want to go home happy. Community college is an issue close to home for state government. Yes, it is. Look, folks, you want to go to school. Nowhere did it say anywhere that we pay. All right, we pay for public school. Now they want us to pay for the college. Right? The kids are going to college. There's no jobs. You just heard it. They're going to come work somewhere for $10 an hour. Right? What are we doing? What are we doing? What's going on here, man? This is just absolutely, positively unbelievable. I mean, so when they get out of school and there's nothing there for them, then we'll pay for what? It ain't unemployment because they've never worked. So what is it? I guess we'll have to give them welfare. I mean, when does it end? When does the government stop paying for people? When do we stop? When does it end? When does the government say, do what you got to do? When does a safety net come out? It's the United States of America. That's what it is. Interesting on the cable issue. Don't use my name. Thank you, sir. You've emailed me many times today. It's fine, guys. I just like making fun with it, but it's fine. FYI, the town of Boylston just filed a complaint regarding Charter with the Department of Telecommunications and Cable for the following reason. Charter forcing a move of the PEG channels and not keeping the channels in sequential order. When is Northbridge officials going to file? When are Northbridge officials going to file? It's a great question. I will have to pose that and find out for you. But I like the question. It's a good question. Come on. Come on. We've set aside more public lands and waters than any administration in history. Well, waters are the key word there because before expanding the Pacific Remote Islands National Monument last year from almost 87,000 square miles to 490,000 square miles, Obama had protected fewer acres than his four predecessors, including President George W. Bush. So last year he did something, and now he wants to. He's such a zero. Who's following him? Thanks to a growing economy, the recovery is touching more and more lives. Wages are finally starting to rise again because you mandated it. We know that more small business owners plan to raise their employees' pay than at any time since '07. Average hourly earnings rose 1.7% in December from 12 months earlier. Not too robust, man. Oh, I can't. I'm done. We're close to the end, so that's okay. I'm going to end up here with just some Northbridge stuff, but I'm disgusted by anything that seems to have to do with Obama these days. In any event, remember, for our local viewers, we always got to give you guys a little extra time. That's where we are. We're here, and we're all about this town, man. And if I can find my information, I'll be happy to reshare it with you one more time before they throw me out of here and make room for Paul to come in and yell about raising taxes, I'm sure. But that's all right. I'll try to call you some. I can hang around 15 maybe minutes or so, and I gotta get going. I got things I gotta do. Look, is that you calling me? Don't forget, we got a meeting with the town manager. It's February 23rd. It's at 5 p.m. It's open to the public, but if you can't attend, submit your questions to me at timorgary@gmail.com. I will get them to Elizabeth. I will get them asked, and we'll get things going. So far, your questions have been fantastic for the most part. Really informative, really well done. I must take my hats off to you guys. We got a quick call? All right, we're going to take a quick call here, see if we can fit this in once I find the speaker button, which I have. And good evening. Welcome to the Freedom Network. How are you? Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
What can we do for you?
Hi. So my favorite food chain is Applebee's.
It's Applebee's, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You like it? What's your favorite thing over there?
The mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks. All right, man. Applebee's has one vote. I'm glad you got that in just under the wire, sir. Just under the wire. Applebee's is pretty good. I have to say, I like that. I like all the chains. I would like to see a chain like that come to Northbridge. Would you like that?
And I also like Fruities in town.
Fruities, yes. How could we forget Fruities? All right, man. I appreciate you calling me. Your votes are in, and we will add them to the tallies, okay?
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you. It's one of our younger listeners out there. They listen to the Freedom Network, all age groups, from the little to the old, the beautiful to the ugly. You want me to leave now? I'm having too much fun. There's not going to be any 3 on 11 tonight, folks. It's the Freedom Network's going straight through. I'm just kidding you. Look, it's the Freedom Network. Get your questions to me about the town. I got to make way for these guys. They've been here a lot longer than I have, so I'm going to get out of the way. My name's Gary Rosenberg. This is the Freedom Network, and I am super excited that you're joining us every week. We will see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Because we are the prey. Yes, fight tyranny. The name of the brave. We are the U.S. of A.